Okay, we're gonna do this again. I'm having a terrible time doing this video, but welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. So, a few days ago, I started a little bit of a video series, get you set down here real quick, going over my thoughts and opinions on the whole Minuteman militia thing. Now, I want to move into the gear and equipment, and particularly talking about the firearms in this video, because firearms are important when you move into that whole Minutemen militia type stuff. So, what firearm do I run? Let's start there. I run a simple Stevens 320 20 gauge. Keep 5 shells loaded up in the tube, nothing inside the chamber, and then 5 on the buttstock. And I know for a fact, because anytime that I do this video, this type of video, I know for a fact that somebody jumps in here and be like, no, you're wrong. I am well aware that a shotgun is not a good, or not a great firearm for that whole Minutemen militia role. I'm well aware of that, but here's my reasoning for that. There's an actual reason as to why I run a shotgun for that purpose, for that Minutemen or militia role. So, I live in New York. New York doesn't like clip-fed rifles. And in case of you have never looked at them, New York legal rifles look absolutely ridiculous, and I cannot justify buying one. Like, why would I buy something I don't like? They look absolutely ridiculous, and I personally don't want one. Like, I don't want one. End of discussion. Like, the cheapest one I found is $800, and I cannot justify spending $800 on something that I don't like. Like, I could take that $800 and go buy $800 worth of food and medical and water and all that fun stuff and be perfectly fine. This, on the other hand, this shotgun cost me $170. $170, and I walked out of the store with it. Like, hands down. Like, what I spent on this versus what I would spend on something that I don't physically want is just night and day difference. Like, I could sit there and, yeah. I don't like them. I don't like New York legal rifles. I will not buy one. Now, yes, I could just get out of New York, but we haven't crossed that bridge yet. At some point, I do plan on it. So why else do I feel the need to run with a shotgun? To me, a shotgun serves 3 different roles. Can serve 3 different roles. You've got hunting, you've got home defense, and you have like a more of like a defensive combat role, or not so much offensive. Like, yeah, you could probably run into a battlefield with this, but I don't intend to do that. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not looking to do that. I'm more of a, hey, let's sit here at the homestead and defend the homestead until we cannot no longer defend it type person. So, it serves multiple purposes. Yeah, now, yes, I'm well aware an AR-15 could do that exact same thing. But, once again, I don't want to buy one. I don't want to buy a New York legal AR-15. So, yes, run with a shotgun. Oh, you're such a terrible person. I know. Plus, with all that being said, like, yes, this is a Stevens 320, and I'm well aware that it's a lower-end shotgun. I have several of them. I have a more, like, tactical home defense Stevens. I have just like a regular bird gun Stevens. Like, I have a few of them. And I like them for what they are. Like, they are a good shotgun. Now, are they a Benelli or a Mossberg or Remington? No, by no means. Like, no, absolutely not. But they're not a bad shotgun. For somebody like just getting into the whole shooting world, like this, like, yeah, I would run with it all day. Like, it's cheap, it's affordable. I didn't break the bank. I didn't have to take a second mortgage out on the house to, get the shotgun. Like, it's cheap and affordable. And for the most part, it's pretty rugged. Like, I've been running a Stevens shotgun for roughly about 2 years now. And I've had one issue, and it was my own fault. One issue, I broke the ejector on my other Stevens, and I had to get a new one. And like, the only problem I've ever had with one of these, and it was my own fault. Like, wasn't paying attention, putting the barrel back on the gun, and it got jammed up underneath, and yeah. So it was my own fault. I put a lot of rounds, or a lot of shells, a lot of time, like, beating the hell out of them. I've dropped deer with them. I have, taken them hiking. I have ran them nonstop. And I beat the hell out of my firearms. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I beat the hell out of my firearms. So why would I sit there and buy an expensive rifle if I'm just going to beat the hell out of it? Like, why would I do that? Why would I want to beat the hell out of a freaking $2,000 rifle? Like, this is just mind-blowing. But yes. Yeah. Like shotguns, Mossbergs, Remington, freaking Stevens. They're durable. Like, you can sit there and beat them up, and they're still going to operate. Now, at some point, they are going to fail. They are going to jam up, misfire, etc., etc. But if you learn how to properly take care of your firearms, you can avoid that issue. Now, there is a few issues that I've noticed when it comes down to running a shotgun. One of them, ammo capacity. Trying to sit there and figure out a way to carry enough ammo to where if you were in a firefight or in a combat situation or whatever, you weren't going to run out of ammo in a few minutes. That's been my biggest concern. Right now, I've got 5 shells in the tube. Then I've got an additional 5 shells on the buttstock. Then on my chest rig, I think there's like 24. And then on my pack, I have 10. So, I don't really have a lot. And I'm still kind of trying to play around with that, trying to find a sling for the shotgun that has like the shotgun shell holders. But yeah, I'm still kind of trying to play around with that. But that is something to take into consideration, that, you don't have the ability to carry 400 rounds with you because, loading these little things up is not an easy thing, and you will end up adding a lot of weight to your system. Another problem is ammo capacity. Like, you're not going to put 30 rounds, 30 shells in this shotgun at once. I think this maxed out at 6 shells. So, that's another problem. Like, you're gonna have to reload relatively fast. You burn through 6 shells, load up 6 more. It just keeps repeating itself. So those are, like, to me, the two main problems. But I'll still run it. I'll still run a shotgun. And plus, like, if you sit down there and actually look at it, 12 gauge and 20 gauge is a relatively common ammo caliber, whatever. So chances of finding it are relatively good. Not so much at stores, but outside, like, homes and stuff, if it ever comes to that, like, you can find it. So, like, kind of try to wrap this up a little bit. I am a firm believer that, you can run whatever you're comfortable with. If you are comfortable with a 30-06, a scoped 30-06, then guess what? Run a scoped 30-06. If you are comfortable with a pistol caliber carbine or a shotgun or whatever, run it. And here's my reasoning why. I would rather have somebody who is comfortable with something like this or a bolt action 30-06 or whatever. I would rather have them run that than hand them an AR-15 that they have never shot before, that they are not familiar with, and expect them to function properly. You know, if you're familiar with a rifle, if you're familiar with a 30-06, then I want you running a 30-06. It's something you're comfortable with. It's something you're familiar with. It's something that I can trust that you will be able to put rounds down range with. Now, yes, it would be nice to have an AR-15 or a clip-fed rifle, but not everybody has that ability. Whether it's because of money, whether it's because of the state they live in, or just because it's personal preference. You know, not everybody has that ability. So, and like myself, I don't want to buy a New York legal rifle. They look ridiculous. And like California and probably several other states, you know, they don't like clip-fed rifles. So, the next best option, shotgun. But yes, this is all just strictly my opinion. Feel free to voice your opinion. I know somebody's gonna get all ridiculous and butthurt about running a shotgun, and that's perfectly okay. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts and opinions on it. You know, run what's comfortable. Like, I'm comfortable with a shotgun. Like, I will run a shotgun all day and be perfectly fine. Is it the best? No. Is it okay? Yes. And I'm comfortable with it. And that's all that matters. But I need to go get ready for work, so I hope everybody has a wonderful day.